Man, this is lifestyles of the poor and unfucking fortunate. But I tell you what, but bitch, we got views.
And then it brings us to this next collab album that you announced and nobody really saw coming.
Right.
Was The Brave, you and Tom MacDonald.
Yeah.
Do you want to kind of talk about how that came about?
So Simba, who's a friend of mine, he's you've seen him with Church. He's a reactor. On YouTube.
Shout out Simba. Yeah, I've met him.
Yeah. He's a reactor on YouTube. Great dude, big beautiful heart. He came to the house. I had him over. I had Arctic Kicks over. I had I have a lot of people come through the house all the time. Like you guys are here right now.
For sure.
Comfy all on it. And I had Simba come over and he asked me about Tom. He's like, so what do you think about Tom? And I'm like, nah, I don't think fuck that dude. Basically, I don't like what he's doing. I think he's like, I don't believe it's genuine, and I don't know what I think about that. I didn't really. It wasn't like nothing crazy, but I was like, I just don't believe it. I don't believe him. I don't think it's genuine. I think I feel like it's like taken from me. Like I'm the American motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like I'm that guy. And I'm the dude that's always talking about like subjects that, but he was rapping about them. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He turned the things I was, well, not the only thing that I was saying. He turned the things that he was seeing, and instead of saying them, he was making music. He was saying them in lyric form. When I would say them, if I saw how the state of the country's going, I'm talking about it like this. And I just was like, man, I don't fuck with that dude. Would you ever do a song with him? No, I don't fucking think so. Unless it was like on some rap shit. And then no, I don't think I would do anything with him. So, and there might have been more to that. But basically people took that as like a diss, and then all of a sudden you got videos popping up all over about, me talking shit about Tom, and I'm in the studio recording. I don't fucking even know what I was recording. I don't know if I was doing features or what the fuck I was doing. And as I'm in the studio, I'm fucking around on my phone. I go to my DMs, and I think it's Nova. Simba hit me and said Nova wants you to call her, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Like, what the fuck is that? What does that mean?
Which is Tom's girl.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
So I call the number that was given to me, and Tom answers. I'm like, what's up? He's like, what's up? And it was malicious at first, like, I was like, bro, I don't give a fuck, I'm being me, and I don't know him and how he is, and he was being pretty respectful, but at first it was, boom, 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 and then finally I calmed down, he calmed down, and it's like we left the phone call with like, we were like buddies. You know what I mean? Yeah. What it was who's this motherfucker? And why is he? I felt like he was like copying, me. And I didn't give a fuck about whatever success he was having, because I've already been successful for, however many years or albums or whatever. It was more like, what the fuck? Who does this fucking guy think he is? Yeah. And again, it's me being competitive, so I'm pushing against him. And we left that conversation both understanding we're both very competitive, and I respected him for not backing down from me being a fucking asshole, And then we started talking more on the phone. And then we started talking like every day about nothing, like about nothing about music, just like life. And like I learned so much shit about, like, cool things about Tom, and he learned a lot of things about me. And some of the conversations that we had, I wish the world could hear them, because they would be like, damn, that's fucking crazy. That's so cool. Like, whoa. And basically, it comes down to this. Like, we ended up finding out we had, and this is the thing in life. You got all these people arguing on the right and on the left. You know, Democrats, Republicans, conservatives, fucking liberals. If motherfuckers would just sit down and have a fucking conversation, dude, you would find out how much shit you actually have in common with the motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Like y'all did.
And that's what happened with me and Tom.
Yeah.
And the fucking, he is a, and Nova is a amazingly talented person, and she is a slave driver. She will push you to where you want to quit. And Tom too. Yeah, that was a growing experience as an artist and as a rapper and as a human in love, like love. Like I love Tom. Mm-hmm. I love Demon. I love Struggle. I love Jelly Roll. I love Church. Mm-hmm. I love these guys. I don't think that, and I don't gotta say no homo. It's not. It's no. You know, I love brothers, Broadnecks. Yeah. I love these guys, and when I hug them, I love you, bro. That's genuine, like, because we're in this shit together, right? Like, mm-hmm. Even though this person might not talk with this, but all together, mm-hmm. We've all done shit with each other. Yeah, I love these motherfuckers, and Tom's one of them, you know. And he made me grow as a person in understand to love, for peacefulness, understanding. I'm still learning. I'm not great at it. I'm learning. I'm a slow learner, hard-headed, thick-headed. But he made me a better rapper, and pushed me. Because, so many people are going to hear this. I have to show up. Mm-hmm. Every verse, I have to make sure that it's a dope verse, you know?
That album's really good. But your verses on that album, you could tell that you were...
Yeah.
Because Tom's a rapping motherfucker, dog. Yeah. And there's some songs on there... It's a really good album, dog. It's really good. Did you? And that was during the time too when the pandemic came back around. So y'all were having to do everything on complete opposite sides of the country, correct?
Yeah.
Like videos, like y'all wasn't. Were y'all shooting separate and then just merging them and then? So like, the fact that y'all was able to do that, bro.
Bro, you're talking like, hey Tom, voice memos on. Tom, I just did this verse. It goes like this. Sent it to him, and then he'd write it back. Okay, I just like we're going like that back and forth. I'm in the studio, you know what I mean? I would have went out there, but I don't even know how that would have worked. With I mean, it was. I think COVID was at like a full blown fucking.
It came back like Jordan with the 4-5.
Yeah. Like it was. So I wasn't even. I was like, man, fuck COVID. I you know me. I'm always like, fuck COVID. I don't give a fuck. I have it 3 times now, that motherfucker. I feel like I'm. But yeah, that album was the biggest. Bro, I don't even say any numbers.
No, it's fine.
I will say this: that album was the biggest independent. No fucking, part of a label. No fucking nothing. That was two guys and Nova. So just us with our money, with just our platforms. That was the biggest actual independent album released within the last 10 years.
Yeah. And like you said, I mean, over time, it's probably going to end up being...
It's going to be it's already...
Is it your best performing one?
To date.
To date, yeah.
Yeah, his too.
Yeah. That's awesome, man.
Well, actually, that's his... And that's another thing. That's his first streaming album he ever put out.
I noticed that. Because before it wasn't...
So now he's got to compete with that. when he drops another album, which Tom's fucking competitive.
Yeah.
That motherfucker's competitive. So I'm excited to see what he does in the rest of his rap career, you know, because that dude he made all the beats.
Really?
Every fucking beat.
And she did
every fucking video.
That's crazy. And y'all made that stuff work, man. It's really dope.
Like Tom, I feel like Tom might be getting slept on, to be honest, because that motherfucker is making the beats.
I'll say this, dude. I wasn't on the Tom MacDonald train at all.
Neither was I.
It took you collabing with him for me to be like, well, let me give him a shot, because I heard the song of him rapping in the school classroom, and I was like, nah.
That's same with me. That's how I was like, I don't believe this is.
Yeah.
I feel like you're doing this for views or something.
But when I saw you announce that you were collabing with him, I was like, well, if Adam's collabing with him, there's got to be.
It took it took almost a year of us talking on the phone. And then one day, I was like, bro, could you imagine if we did a fucking album just like the shit we're talking about? And he's like, let's do it. I was like, I don't know, man. I'm about to do this. I'm about to drop this. I want to do a podcast. I don't even want to rap anymore. He's like, well, how about I just make the beats and then we'll see. So he ended up making the beats. And I was like, I don't got the time. I have to get this other album done and drop it in like September or some shit. And then he's like, just trust me, you know. And we ended up dropping that October, November, December, January, February went by. In March, I think we dropped that album. You know what I'm saying? And so I hadn't dropped anything. I think that was the longest stretch where I didn't drop anything.
Yeah, because Outlaw Shit was the only thing before that. And
yeah.
That was June. No, that was April of 21. So you went almost an entire year.
And I never did that.
You was dropping 2 or 3 years previously up until that.
And I never did that. And I did that, and I mean, we sold 50,000 hard copies, an insane amount of digital copies. And I think that motherfucker probably right now, if you look on iTunes, is probably still, and it's been out for half a year. I bet you that motherfucker right now, that album, and albums just dropped on Friday. What day is today? Saturday?
Yep.
So, in rap and hip hop.
I'm sure it's still on there.
No, I know it's still on there. It's 43. It's number 43 right now on iTunes.
There's lots of big artists that's been dropping since then.
And it's in 6 months, and that I guarantee you by midweek next week it'll be at 20 again.
Well, y'all haven't dropped any more visuals, or y'all
no,
dropped
and he I talk to Tom, you know, every other fucking day, and you know he hasn't really dropped any videos or music, and he's kind of taken, you know, that took a lot out of me. I can't speak for him, but that album took a lot out of me. I gave it all I had, and I felt like I grew as a rapper. You know what I mean? From that.
For sure, and you did some like.
I did shit I never did before. We used
for sure
some auto tune on some singing shit, even on some rap verses. I used
Revenge. I've told you this off camera. That may be my favorite Adam Calhoun verse, or just the way.
Thank you.
The way, because you did something different, bro. You was singing a little bit, but she was rapping the stuff she was saying. That Revenge, that's my favorite
I just want
on the album.
Yeah. Yeah, man, and you know, I listened to that album once.
Yeah.
I listened to it all the way through from front to back when we dropped it, and that was it. Never, I couldn't. If you asked me to rap a verse from there, I probably couldn't. I don't like listening to my music.
Yeah,
I'm already on to the next. Yeah. Even with this album, that I'm already thinking about a country album.
Yeah.
You know.